In example 2, we're going to try to figure out the exact value of the sine of 5 pi over 12. Note that 5 pi over 12 does not appear on the unit circle, so we're going to have to use a sum or difference formula here. To me, 5 pi over 12 doesn't just jump out right away, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that 5 pi over 12 into degrees. So what we'll do here, and you can use your calculator to help you if you need, we'll just multiply by 180, the pi's will cancel, and we'll divide by 12, and we get 75 degrees. So the same angle measure as the previous example in example 1, but this time we're taking the sine of that angle. Now this could be the sine of 30 degrees plus 45, and if you wanted to do this in radians, you could change this to the sine of pi over 6 plus pi over 4. That's a neat way to do it as well. But we'll just keep with the degree notate, or the degrees here instead of the radians. If you did add pi over 6 and pi over 4, you'd get 5 pi over 12 if you simplified the fraction. But now we've got alpha here, and we've got beta, and there's a plus sign, so I'm going to reference my formula sheet, and I'm going to see what we can come up with here. Looks like the sine of an angle, and then we're going to do plus here, so we'll leave the plus sign, is the sine of the first angle, cosine of the next angle. And then we're going to put our plus sign here. For the sine, you always keep the same. In the previous example, in example 1, it was cosine, so we had to switch the sign. And then we're going to do cosine of the first and sine of the next. So we'll do cosine of 30 and then sine of 45. Okay, so now we're just going to evaluate each one of these separately. So the sine of 30 is 1/2. Cosine 45 is root 2 over 2. Cosine 30, root 3 over 2, and the sine of 45 is root 2 over 2. We'll do a little bit of arithmetic here. We'll multiply those fractions, we'll multiply these fractions, and then we'll try to write this as one fraction. Remember, you can't add these two figures together. Root 2 plus root 6 is totally not equal to root 8. Don't do that. And if you think you can, just plug it into your calculator. Root 2 plus root 6 is not the same as root 8. Anyway, here's our final solution here, or at least our simplified version of the sine of 5 pi over 12. Also the sine of 75 degrees. And if you wanted to, you could check that in your calculator. I would switch your calculator to radian mode. That way you can type in the original, sine of 5 pi divided by 12, hit enter. And then we can type in our root 2. Oops, this one's a different calculator, so it's got that nice radical symbol. And then we'll close it up. Make sure to do that in your calculator, and we'll divide by 4. And we actually have the same value here. If that's different, then either you typed it in wrong, or maybe you're in the wrong mode, or you didn't do something right in the problem. So take a look. This just allows you, your calculator is telling you, in this case, that we have the same value, which is good. But if it doesn't, that just tells us we need to look and see if we have a mistake anywhere.